Like the title of my favorite book, The Obstacle is the Way. In it, author Ryan Holiday argues that obstacles, challenges, and even setbacks are actually moments to better ourselves. Climate change is our current moment. I ask y'all to see with clarity the current global movement focused on reducing emissions and developing a more sustainable future. Well, tonight is the grassroots effort to make that a reality. In this virtual space, we have a nonprofit organization, business partners, a community, and of course, our students all coming together as a collective to find solutions to our common obstacle. Like I said, tonight is so much more important than it seems. I hope you leave the showcase with a sense of hope and that you feel inspired by younger generations who have taken the responsibility of shouldering this moment. Thank you. And with that being said, welcome to the Spring 2021 GreenLight Showcase. And if this is your first time here, welcome to the GreenLight family. Please give a warm virtual welcome to the leadership team, whom without their hard work and dedication, tonight would not be possible. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Nathaniel Ross, and I am the Vice President of Network Engagement for the student chapter of GreenLight Solutions. I am majoring in biology, political science, history, and applied quantitative science, and I've been with GreenLight Solutions since the beginning of this year.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mia Zarnecki, and I'm the Vice President of Projects. I am finishing my degrees this semester in sustainability in Spanish, and I have been in GreenLight for 2 years.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rahul Rajan. I'm VP of Professional Development. This is my 3rd year at ASU and my 2nd semester here at GreenLight Solutions. I'm also majoring in business and sustainability.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cara Piotrowski, and I'm the VP of Communications. I've been with GreenLight since fall of 2020, and I'm a junior sustainability major. Our last LT member is our VP of Recruitment, Alyssa Knowles, who unfortunately could not be here with us today. She's working with the Peace Corps.
Now that we've introduced the leadership team, we will now take some time to introduce our wonderful Solutioneers. This semester included several major milestones for the student chapter, including our first international project, as well as 7 total student projects, which is a new record for a single semester. Please join me in emoji applauding our Spring 2021 Solutioneers.
Now I'd like to introduce our foundation managers and interns. They are a part of our GreenLight support system, and we could not have functioned without them. Our foundation managers are Ashley Wiseman, Executive Director, McKenna Rodham, Program Development Manager, and Sean Soward, IT Manager. Our foundation interns are Blake Stevens, Nonprofit Development Intern, Jillian Lauder, also Nonprofit Development Intern, Melinda Ennis, also nonprofit, and Soraya Martinez, also nonprofit. I would also like to introduce our GreenLight advisor, Megan Herrick from the School of Sustainability at ASU. Megan Herrick has been our GreenLight advisor for quite a few semesters now. She has shown fantastic support to all the Solutioneers and leadership team during this time. So on behalf of GreenLight, I would like to say thank you for all that you have done. I'll now pass it off to Mia so that she can introduce the Finance Committee and the GreenLight Board.
Thank you, Rahul. The mission of the GreenLight Solutions Foundation is to educate and empower students and business leaders to create positive social, environmental, and economic change through sustainability initiatives. What's amazing about GreenLight is that all of our foundation board of directors are GreenLight alumni, so they went through these student programs themselves. I would like to take a moment to introduce and recognize our foundation board members. We have Ashley Wiseman, our executive director, Christine Siafi, our board member, Nate Gassman, co-founder and senior board member, Ryan Morris, co-founder and operations director, and Kevin Callagher, co-founder and chairman of the board. Please join me in giving them a virtual round of applause.
FUN stands for Fundraising, Uplifting, Networking, and that is what the Fund Committee focuses on to grow the GreenLight movement. The team members of the committee are McKenna Rodham, Team Engagement Lead, Miguel Ortega, Recruitment Lead, Melinda Ennis, Membership Lead, Chris Bodner, Events Lead, Alan Jakupovic, Training Lead, Blake Stevens, Internal Communications Lead, Jillian Laudner, Content Creation Lead, Ashley Weisman, Committee Member, and myself, Sarai Ramirez, Committee Member.
Well, thank you all for coming this evening. I'm Kevin Kelleher, Chairman of the Board and co-founder of the GreenLight Solutions Foundation. And I just want to say a big, big thank you to everyone you just heard about. GreenLight wouldn't be what we are without all of the hardworking volunteers and staff that help to make our mission possible and continue to grow our mission every year. And so I just want to highlight each of them right now because it's super important, and our gratitude is more than words can express, for sure. And thank you for joining us as guests as well. This past January marks 8 years as our grassroots movement as of January. And we work very hard to build this mission, volunteering our time. And Ashley, our executive director, works full-time, but it's only paid part-time. And so she volunteers beyond her full-time and goes above and beyond. And the rest of us on the board and many of the volunteers do so after full-time jobs and family and school and all the other things that have going on in our lives. So there's a lot of dedicated effort that goes into building this movement that we're super grateful for, and I want to highlight. And as was mentioned before, the majority of our board members actually were in GreenLight. We started it as a grassroots movement, solving our own problem, realizing that we needed more applied education in college, not just learning theory, but actually getting practice, because, and especially in the realm of sustainability, the time for talk is over. It's time for action. It's time to get things done. And we need our change makers graduating college able to go out in the community and actually do the work right away. And so that's what GreenLight was born out of. And in the process, we found out there are a lot of businesses out there that understand that sustainability is important, but they don't really get it or know how to do it. And so that's where we come to the table and help teach them how to do it and bring a bunch of volunteer college students to help them get it done. And so that's what we've been doing for 8 years now, and we're really excited for what's to come. We have, it's a very exciting time right now for GreenLight. There's a lot of momentum in this area. BlackRock Financial, one of the largest and most recognized financial investment firms on the planet, has stated for a number of years now, specifically in their 2020 letter to the chairmen of all of the organizations that are in their portfolio, he said verbatim, specifically, the chairman of BlackRock sends a letter, and he said in his letter that if they are not actively managing and planning for climate change and sustainability right now, then BlackRock's going to do one of two things. They're either going to completely divest from the organization or take over the board. And that's how important to traditional business metrics sustainability is. And so the time for mainstream sustainability is here. And it's really important that organizations that want to stay competitive and be able to be relevant in a very evolving world economically, have the resources to do so. And that's where GreenLight comes in, because we're able to help organizations that aren't the Fortune 500 to embrace sustainability. So for our areas of focus in 2021, we have 7 core areas. First and foremost, successful student-led projects. 12 is our goal for the year. Since we're at 7 this semester, we're ahead of the goal, so that's great. Expanding our organizational capacity through our board of directors, increasing our revenue, and hiring our interns, and we're making great progress on all 3 of those you'll hear about. Increasing our GreenLight Glow membership and fund committee membership. For those of you who are here as guests tonight, those are ways that you can participate in GreenLight if you're not a college student or you're not a local business leader. Really, really fun ways to get involved, pun intended. And executing 5 successful fundraising campaigns and launching our marketplace, which we've got great progress on both of those you'll hear about as well. submitting 12 grants and increasing our sponsorship, working well on those as well. And then developing our professional programs. There's a lot of really exciting stuff in the works there. And then expanding outreach and enhancing our online presence. So we put these together as a summary of much more detailed, extensive goals that we have as a team that we've broken down to achieve success in this year. And now you're going to hear a little bit more detail about each of those.
Alrighty, so from the very beginning, since 2013, we started as a student group in 2013. So always, our student-led projects are always going to be our bread and butter, and really important for our impact here at GreenLight. So we have student-led projects that we're working on at the student chapter, and we're trying to expand our organizational capacity because that's the only way that we can expand as an organization and make more of an impact and impact more students, businesses, and communities and colleges. So we are looking for more board members. Increasing our revenue in many diverse ways, and then of course hiring our interns. So if you or anyone that you know is interested in a board seat, please reach out to us. We're looking for a wide range of passionate experts in their fields to join our board of directors.
And hi, everyone. My name is Nathan Gassman, a board member for GreenLight as well. And I'm here to tell you about one of our next focus areas, which was to increase GreenLight Glow membership and start our fund committee. Both have been very successful thus far. We actually just completed a excellent fundraiser for Arizona Gives Day, and our GreenLight Glow members really helped contribute to that. Membership in our GreenLight Glow campaign helps to support our college students as well as our projects. And the fund committee you just heard a little bit about. We're also planning to execute 5 successful fundraising campaigns. Arizona Gives Day was one of those so far this year. We are filled with gratitude for the generosity of our matching gift sponsor, InfoSol. They matched $3,000 in funds that was raised on Arizona Gives Day, and we were able to raise over $3,000 as an organization, totaling over $6,000. So we viewed that as a great success. We're also going to be launching the GreenLight Marketplace in collaboration with Redbubble. So you'll see some great GreenLight branded items hitting the marketplace soon. And we'll be submitting some grants this year. We have a goal to submit 12 of them. Some great work done last year to build a strong foundation for us to be able to submit those grants. If John Luther's on the call, shout out to John Luther for all the great foundational work that you did with us. And we're excited about submitting some grants and hopefully winning some this year. We're also going to be working to increase sponsorship.
Okay, so our next area of focus is our professional program.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I was on mute there. Actually, I can take this. Can you guys hear me? I can feedback. Okay. You can hear me. Great. Sorry, having some technical difficulties over here. Our 6th area is developing our professional programs that we're going to offer to professionals and the business community. Currently, we're excited to offer the Sustainability Seminar Series virtually, which helps businesses and professionals to learn about the business case for sustainability, why it matters, how they can make a difference, how to green your office space and green your workplace culture, as well as how to align your organization with the sustainable development goals. Later this year, we're going to be bringing to market some sustainability strategy workshops and different types of cool engagements for professionals and businesses to advance their business sustainability. So stay tuned for that. And finally, last but not least, to expand our outreach and enhance our online presence. I got to give a lot of gratitude and kudos to our team of managers, interns, and our whole communications and marketing team for doing a tremendous job at this. This is basically just being engaging more, sharing more content online. We have regular emails that go out. We have social media strategy and a schedule that's implemented and taken action on pretty much every single day. And for those listening in the audience, one way you can help right now is to follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and subscribe on YouTube as well. and that will go a long way to helping us expand our outreach and online presence. Thank you. Ashley?
So we have very, very exciting news, guys, and we're honored to actually tell you this news first. So we got a letter. We got a letter from the mayor of Tempe, Mr. Corey Woods. So it says, on behalf of City Council, I would like to extend my congratulations on your selection as the 2021 Sustainable Nonprofit Award winner. And we are so incredibly grateful to have won this award. This is thanks to all of our project teams doing the incredible work that they're doing in the community. And really, you know, this is just fun, guys. The more that we expand, the more projects we can do, you know, the more that we can make an impact. This is only going to continue. So you can actually watch us on Tempe Channel 11 or Facebook Live this Saturday at 9 a.m. I'll be going to the City Hall to accept the award, and we would love for everyone to tune in. And the information is there, tempe.gov/state of the neighborhoods. We would love for you guys to tune in. And thanks for all the support.
Now we will be listening to a lecture from our keynote speaker for the night. Today we have Professor Kasondra McCracken. Professor McCracken is a lecturer at the Arizona State University College of Health Solutions, where one of her focuses is on the public health impacts of climate change, and she is involved with several major organizations within the environmental space. Please join me in emoji applauding Professor Kasondra McCracken. And before I pass it over, I just wanted to note that we will have a Q&A portion at the end of this speech. So feel free to send your messages in the chat, and we'll give them to Professor McCracken after she's finished.
Thank you so much for that introduction. And I am truly honored to be here. I am looking forward to hearing about your sustainability projects later on this evening. And again, I'm so sorry I'm not wearing green, but really excited to be here. All right, so do you remember the last time you sat by a river? Did you maybe take off your shoes, soak your feet in the cold water? Perhaps you noticed water striders in the water, felt the sand and the earth beneath you, listened to the sparrows above you. Just imagine, like, maybe this is your favorite place and your safe place. Now imagine that as you sit here, you see a young girl caught up in the river current, and she is drowning. Now, of course, you rush in and you save her, only to realize that there are many others in the river drowning as well. After hours of rescue attempts, you start to wonder, why are there so many children in the water? You are exhausted from your rescue attempts, but you force yourself to walk upstream. You want to seek out the cause of this suffering and why this is happening. This story illustrates the public health approach, looking upstream to prevent injury and illness in the first place. We public health professionals, we seek to find the events and conditions that lead to human suffering and disease. But let me be clear, the work we do downstream is just as essential. We have to rescue people from the river. We must help those who are caught up in the currents of suffering. This is really where we are in the climate crisis. One eye is on the downstream, the other is on the source. Upstream is mitigation. We need to reduce our carbon emissions and stop the planet from warming. The science here is loud and clear. The more carbon we produce, the worse our suffering will be. We have to go upstream on the climate change issue, but we can't leave behind those who are already experiencing the effects of climate change, those who are experiencing hardship now, and those who will suffer in the future. Downstream, that's adaptation. Let's go move on to our next slide. So I'd like to share with you today what is happening downstream. We are already seeing these impacts today. This isn't something that's going to happen in the future. It will happen in the future, but we're seeing these today. And sometimes we lose sight of that. Each of these are predicted to worsen in a changing climate. As global temperatures increase, we will see additional cases of heat stress, heat stroke, and preterm birth. Even the smallest increases in temperature globally can result in increased illness and death. Extreme heat is also associated with poor air quality. They're linked. The combination of heat and poor air quality is a big threat to our children and to anyone who works or plays outdoors. Along with this, climate change will lead to longer pollen seasons, causing those of us to suffer from hay fever and asthma symptoms for months on end. As we have seen over the past few years, wildfires are being pushed outside of their normal cycles by climate change. The result of shorter winters and hotter temperatures means that the plants and soil are dry, leading to that increase in wildfire risk. This puts us at risk for respiratory and cardiovascular events due to the wildfire smoke exposure. Smoke from wildfires can also trigger asthma events and can even trigger preterm birth. And there are secondary effects as well. Low visibility from smoke can increase traffic accidents, actually, because of the low visibility. As we see more extreme weather events, such as hurricanes and flooding, we'll also see more waterborne diseases. Increases in waterborne diseases can happen due to heavy rainfall and to flooding, right? So what might happen is that water treatment plants could become overwhelmed, and there may be cross-contamination between sewage and drinking water. Sounds good, right? Warming ocean surface temperatures and altered rainfall patterns are leading to harmful algae blooms. These algae blooms produce toxins which contaminate our seafood. Let's talk a little bit more about food for a second. It's likely that a warming world will widen food and health disparities. As the earth warms, farm livestock will experience heat stress too. It's not just related to humans. Heat stress in animals can diminish their appetite, they just don't get hungry, and their physical activity, which could lead to lower growth and reproductive rates. This means lower production of meat, milk, and eggs. So perhaps we could see shortages in milk and eggs in the future, especially after extreme heat wave events. Moreover, increased carbon dioxide in our atmosphere is projected to lower nutritional quality in some crops. So wheat, for example, may have less protein, less zinc, and less iron. So like this is some things like so important in a business as usual carbon emission scenario. We may be looking at a future that has less food, and the food that is available may be less nutritious. A couple more here. Climate change will impact diseases spread by mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas. As our climate changes, we'll likely see diseases in areas where we haven't before. Zika, dengue fever, West Nile virus, Lyme disease, and malaria. Those are some examples. Already, climate change has caused an expanded range of ticks. And milder winters mean that fewer ticks are dying off during our cold season, during our winter months. And what happens then is we can have this overpopulation of the tick population, which increases the risk of Lyme disease. In recent years, confirmed cases of Lyme disease have been reported in every single state. And fleas are reacting to climate change too. I saw some of you with puppies on here earlier. And we think about fleas for just affecting our cats and our dogs, but it impacts humans too. As global temperatures warm, we could see increased breeding rates and reproductive rates of fleas. And fleas actually can transmit the plague. So plague can be transmitted by one bite of an infected flea, and human plague has already been seen in Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, California, Oregon, and Nevada. So during this time of COVID, we've all talked about like, this is such an unprecedented time. Like how many times have you heard that, right? It's like every day we hear this. You know, some people say this is a once in a lifetime event. I want you to consider that climate change will increase the odds of a future pandemic, more lives lost. For a variety of reasons, this could happen, but vectors is one that we're keeping an eye on, since climate change will change their geographic region and breeding. So let's move on to the next slide. Climate change will influence human health in a variety of ways. Oh no, my font disappeared. That's okay. I'll just tell you what I was going to say. We often think of climate change as an environmental issue, but it isn't just that. We must change the narrative. It's a public health issue. It's a health equity issue. It's a humanitarian issue. It's a moral issue. We need to start making the connection between what is going on downstream with our health and what is happening upstream with our carbon emissions. Hopefully, by connecting climate change with personal health, we can ignite individuals and communities to take action. Let's move on to the next slide. This is my last one. What is exciting is that we collectively have the skills and the knowledge to solve climate change. We have people like you sitting here today. We have upstream hikers, we have river rescuers, and we need both. It really does give me hope to see you here today, and to see the actions that you are taking on innovative and sustainable solutions. And I just ask that you continue to learn about this, stay engaged on this issue, read books about climate change and health, lean in as much as you can, because we need you. We need you in this field. Thank you so much for listening, but also thank you so much for your work in sustainability.
Thank you so much. That was a great presentation. It's a little weird when we can't hear all the roaring applause that I have zero doubts would be filling the auditorium that we would have had if we did not have COVID. But we wanted to send a really big thank you, a big GreenLight thank you for joining us today. So now we have some time to go over some questions. If anyone wanted to type them in the chat, or if they wanted to unmute and ask the question they had. Is there anything people wanted to ask? We have one from Josh, our president of GreenLight. What book recommendations would you have maybe on this topic?
So this is going to sound a little weird. I love reading books, but I feel like sometimes it can be really overwhelming to sit down and read a big book, especially if you're a student in school. So I recommend blogs. I love blogs. They're short. You can read one a day. Eco America has some great blogs. Yale Climate Connection has some awesome blogs, and Yale Climate Connection actually has a great blog about books to read, which is nice. But anything by Katherine Hayhoe, I highly recommend. So I think sometimes it can be really overwhelming. We think, I want to learn about this issue. I need to like grab a textbook or sit down and read, 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, pop open, read a credible blog, and it's going to really put you in a good place. It's a good question.
Thank you. That was a great answer. So we have from Mia, what do you think are the most pressing issues that we should tackle first?
In health and climate specifically, I'm guessing?
Yes. Yeah, and climate change in relation to.
Gosh, it's so hard because they are so interconnected, and you start to have these domino effects, right? Where it's food insecurity, it affects everything. And so to untangle one piece and to say that this piece is the most pressing and important is very, very hard. I personally love the vector-borne diseases. That's that's my bread and butter. But I think for me, looking at our future food security is very concerning, because those who are going to be most affected by a changing climate are those who are already vulnerable, right? So we really need to think about our children and those who have a lack of resources, and what the future is going to hold for them if our food is no longer available, we can't access it, it's more expensive, and it's also less nutritious.
All right, we have time for one last question. So what would you say are some action steps that anyone can take right now where we are that you think would contribute even in one small way to improving our climate situation?
I think the most important thing you can do is talk to people about it. And hopefully you're already doing that, like over the Thanksgiving table, call up grandma on the phone. But I think that when we talk about climate change, we have to connect on values. Everyone already has the values that they need to address climate change. Connect with the people in your network about those values and make the link for them that it's not just in the environmental issue, it's a health issue as well, and that's a humanitarian issue. And so if you care about justice and equity, you have to care about climate. My like famous thing I always love to say is if you care about health, you have to care about climate change because they're so connected. So hopefully that answers some of your questions, but feel free, you can always like text me on LinkedIn or track me down by email. I'd love to connect with you after this. And thank you so much for your questions and your engagement today.
Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation and answering our questions, Professor McCracken. If you do have more questions, we'll include all of the contacts in the follow-up emails that you'll receive after the showcase. Thank you so much. All right, now we will begin with our Solutioneer project presentations. After each team presents, we'll have a brief Q&A session, so feel free to put any questions you have in the chat and we'll circle back when we get there. And remember, we do have a networking opportunity after the showcase, so if you do not have the chance to ask your questions now, you can definitely do so after the event. Now, our first group is Circular Classroom. Solutioneers, take it away.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sdgs and I'm the project lead for this project.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kevin. I am the Solutioneer.
I'm Kathleen. I'm also a Solutioneer.
I'm Juliana. I'm also a Solutioneer.
Awesome. So we want to let you guys know just what our project is about. And what it is we are here with the goals of providing quality education to students and to influence their perspective of sustainability through our strategies and the work that we're doing for our project. And to understand the impact that we're making, that we want to make, Sdgs is going to go over the timeline that we've been doing during this semester. Next.
So this project was started by 3 grad students who came up with the technology to turn bottle caps into 3D printed material. Unfortunately, their mission was to teach this education of circular economy and sustainability to underprivileged high school students, but then COVID happened and they were unable to do so. So they passed this project on to GreenLight Solution with hopes that we'll be able to do something. Our goal last semester was to find a project partner, and we were able to find a high school to partner up with, as well as 2 unofficial partners.
Throughout the semester, we have had the opportunity to work with 3 different project partners to grow our project. So first off, we partnered with Skyline High School in Mesa, Arizona, where we worked specifically with Mr. Carmichael, who's an economics teacher. Mr. Carmichael was excited to teach his students more about sustainability as well as circular economy and highlight these topics in both personal and business contexts. We also worked with a team of Barrett Honors College students consisting of Renuka, Monet, and myself. We focused on creating a sustainability-focused educational company for our honors thesis project. And we were able to, GreenLight Solutions was able to partner with these team of students to help them complete their thesis goals in creating educational modules focusing on composting, recycling, and sustainability in action, as well as gaining insight and help into our own presentation to Skyline High School and sharing the educational modules with the high school students. Lastly, we partnered with the Memorial Union at ASU and their staff to help our bottle cap collection program, providing us with an on-campus collection site in a popular location, as well as the opportunity to further expand our collection program in the future.
Still there, Juliana? Okay, we can take this part real quick. For this part is just kind of a representation, a graph to show you kind of what we're trying to teach for the students in our project. It's the take, make, and waste model that we want to avoid. And we're trying to avoid that waste model And you can see the curve to turn that into a circular economy, a curve. And yeah, so that's the graph that we want to show you. And for our mission and our vision, I'll read this verbatim too. For our vision, it's a benchmark to encourage and inspire the next generation of students to be eco-friendly and engage with them with the presentation material to make circular economics interesting while creating world solutions. And our mission is to create that, create our bottle cap collection so that we can keep a constant flow of material so that we can continue showing these students how 3D printing is one of the solutions, how we're averting plastic from ending up in landfills. So yeah, next.
So rather than list out all our objectives and key performance indicators, we decided to split it up into different slides that go into details about each objective and key performance indicator and the results.
So for our first objective, it was to complete a presentation for the high school students at Skyline High School. In partnering with Mr. Carmichael, we were able to present to 2 different sections of his economics classes, as well as some additional students from another teacher there, Dr. Kreider. Dr. Kreider is also an economics teacher at Skyline High School who was interested in incorporating the circular economy curriculum into her normal class curriculum. We created an engaging presentation that included interactive elements such as a word cloud and Sahupu game. With the help of the Barrett thesis students, we also created a short follow-up assignment for his students to complete that would help them think more critically about circular economy and the topics that were presented in the presentation. We measured our success for this presentation using the key performance indicator consisting of the number of students that we presented to and the results of a follow-up survey. We successfully presented to 2 full class periods on April 5th. And though we don't have an exact head count of the students, they were both pretty full and interactive classes. And we distributed the feedback survey along with the little extra assignment. And we're still waiting to hear back on that.
Jillian, were you able to?
Objective 2 of the bottle. Yeah. So objective 2 of the bottle cap collection system is still in the works. Unfortunately, we do not have 2 stations put in place yet for a bottle cap collection system. So far, we have a donation-based platform that runs to our GreenLight Solutions headquarters. Yet we pitched our bottle cap collection system to those at Changemaker who are offering a sustainability grant for initiatives on campus. With this grant, we plan to not only educate those at the high school level, but also 2% of the ASU student body by the end of this year. This will be done through an incentivized bottle cap collection system that educates ASU students along the way through a QR code and streamlined traffic. The team is looking forward to hearing the results of this pitch by May, which will get the bottle cap collection system moving.
So for objective 3, we wanted to give 3D printed giveaways to every student in advance of the presentation, but we had more students than expected. And the GreenLight Solutions printer, like the 3D printer at GreenLight Solutions, broke. However, we were able to get the 3D printers fixed and all stages of the project complete. And we have way more bottle caps than anticipated. So that's a heads up.
So our project objectives focus on 3 main sustainable development goals, or SDGs, which are number 4 of quality education, number 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure, and number 12, responsible consumption and production. So our first objective specifically focuses on number 4 of quality education, as we prepared and presented to the students at Skyline High School. We researched and prepared a presentation that focused on plastic, circular economy, and how these students can be more sustainable in their everyday lives. By inspiring students to live more sustainably, we also kind of address SDG number 12, responsible consumption and production. Our second objective of setting up a bottle cap collection system to successfully collect these bottle caps from ASU's campus and other places addresses SDG number 9. Setting up this collection system kind of sets us up for the future with solid infrastructure, as well as shows off the innovation behind the bottle cap collection system and what we can do with these bottle caps. Our third objective of printing the 3D goodies for the students using the filament made from the bottle caps addresses SDG number 12, as it represents as it can show exactly how these collections goes into making the filament and making into the little goodies. So it demonstrates responsible consumption and production, and it's a fun little way to get everyone involved and show off what we're doing.
Looks like we lost Juliana again, technical difficulties. But from here, we need two things from you people. One is to first understand how plastic is. It's just a typical thing. And so we will encourage you guys to start making conscious choices when you're purchasing, just purchasing anything. But the second part is we do have those two collection systems, or just one of them, I'm sorry, up and running. So if you have those bottle caps, and you're by MU, please feel free to drop by and drop those off, because we are still working on more systems to collect them, but we want to have as many as we can at MU. Next. Okay, and this is our final slide. So I guess the biggest question is, what do we do from here now? Because our project, we've come so far from just last semester. We have a solid foundation in everything. We have a partner in school, a bottle cap system running at the MU, and now we have high expectations in how we want to utilize the 3D printer further. So I guess our next steps are just to keep expanding, because remember, the whole purpose and the whole vision of this project, it's not about 3D printing. That's just one of the solutions and how we're tackling plastic and the crisis that's coming with it. And this is to encourage and educate the students and plant that seed in the ground for the next generation so that they can teach the next generation. And that is it. Thanks.
Thank you, guys. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
And that is everything.
All right, we will take some questions now. So please, if you have any questions, type them in the chat. I'll go ahead and start with mine. It was a little bit higher, got lost in the comments section. But how did the students respond during the presentation?
I can go ahead and take this one. Overall, obviously, no one really loves high school, and it was early morning, 9 a.m. But I feel like everyone was super excited. And when we got them up and moving for the Suhupu game that involved kind of walking around and getting to talk with their peers, that was really exciting to see them all moving and really getting engaged with what they just learned about in the presentation. And it was also great to hear feedback from the class. Everyone had different perspectives of what they learned during the presentation and what they already kind of knew going in. So it was really great to hear about their different perspectives, both before the presentation and after.
Right. Thank you. We also have a question from Julia. How has the bottle cap system at the MU been going, and are people actively participating?
I can take this question. So we've started collecting bottle caps at the MU since January, and there's been a stream of bottle caps. I haven't gone in person to count every one of them, but I've heard it's been going well.
Thank you. I might have missed. Okay, we do got one more. Do y'all know how many bottle caps on average it takes to make a 3D printed item? I guess it depends on the size. I don't know how much experience y'all got with it before it broke.
So from my memory, it takes about 20-ish bottles to print something small. And if you want to print something bigger, you just need more bottle caps and 3D printed filament.
I have a question from Mason. Do you think that younger students would respond better to the presentation? And I'm guessing you mean younger than high school students, I would think, right, Mason?
I definitely think there's a way to like tailor the presentation to all age groups. So for ours, we kind of went a little bit more in depth with about plastics and circular economy and explaining the different ways that these things go hand in hand, and specifically explaining about circular economy in a business context since they were in an economics class. So I think in terms of like presenting to a younger audience, we can definitely scale back on maybe the more specifics and nitty gritty of economics and focus more on sustainability as a whole.
All right, thank y'all, Circular Classroom team. If there's any more questions, please stay to the end where you'll be able to network with the group. Next up, we have the Rosebird Farms Solutioneer team. Rosebird, take it away.
Hello everyone, my name is Jackie Liang. I was the project lead for the Rosebird Farms project group. I am a first year student at ASU and this is my second semester with GreenLight.
Hello, my name is Andrea Castro. I am a sophomore studying sustainability at ASU and this is my third semester with GreenLight.
Hi, my name is On Ging. I'm a third-year student at ASU majoring in justice studies, and this is my second semester working with GreenLight.
Hi everyone, my name is Kira and I'm a sophomore studying sustainability and geographic information science at ASU.
Hi everyone, I'm JD. I'm a junior at NAU. I'm majoring in sustainability and minoring in community planning, and this is my first semester with GreenLight.
Darien Bingham is a Northern Arizona University graduate student with a Sustainable Communities degree and a certificate in city planning. His thesis focused on the analysis of USDA food flows within Arizona and how to determine the boundaries of the locality of local foods. As a project manager of Rosebird Farms, he stated that sustainability starts with sourcing pesticide-free, pasture-raised, fair trade, and nutritious products. With experience at gardens and universities and farmers markets, he believes that knowing where your food comes from makes you less likely to throw it away. By teaming up with Rosebird Farms, Darien wants to establish healthy and accessible foods for the community. Rosebird Farms, located in Kingman, Arizona, grows more than 20 varieties of produce with the use of high-density planting for healthy soil. Their overall goal is to treat the land with respect, and the earth will provide care for its people. And I'll pass the mic to Andrea to discuss more about the Rosebird Farms team.
So a little bit more about Rosebird Farms. It is run by Andrea, who actually started farming after her career in civil engineering and construction. And she really wanted to focus on reconnecting with the earth and building community with her farm. And like Anne mentioned earlier, they have 20 varieties of naturally grown produce and practice high density planting with a focus on soil health. They also offer CSAs, or community supported agriculture, and really want to build community by strengthening food hubs within the region.
Our vision statement for this project was to conduct a literature review, create a recommendation sheet, and conduct a market research report for Rosebird Farms. Our mission statement was to gather information and resources to be compiled into these 3 documents for Rosebird. And the purpose of these 2 statements is to serve as the foundation of our project and guide your decision-making throughout the semester as we tackled on our project's challenge.
So Rosebird Farms wishes to expand their local food hub by connecting to local and regional farmers and producers. This would really help add value to their CSA packages by adding variety and appealing towards the American diet. Ideally, they wish to partner with farmers within 150 miles of their farm and want to develop a resilient aggregation distribution system to transport their products to their consumers. And finally, they wish to add variety to their crops by determining what produce and products are the most profitable.
We came up with 3 documents to present to Darien and Rosebird at the end of the semester. The first being a comprehensive literature review covering topics such as food hubs, rural food delivery, and community-supported agriculture. The second is a document of recommended strategies to help Rosebird grow their mobile grocery out in Kingman, Arizona. And finally, we create a 3rd document with product recommendations for Rosebird to stock their grocery store based off research and feedback from the store's consumer base. We created the objectives and KPIs for our project with these 3 deliverables in mind.
So our process started with our first objective, which was to perform a comprehensive literature review of rural local CSAs, food hubs, and food distribution. In order to complete this objective, we identified and reviewed academic studies. We then compiled our analysis into a comprehensive annotated bibliography. We consider this a success if we were able to review and include at least 50 total studies. Moving on to our second objective, our goal is to create a list of recommendations for rural local aggregation and distribution systems. To complete this objective, we identified and compiled successful strategies revealed in our literature review and supported our justifications with input from field experts and relevant organizations. We ultimately aimed for at least 5 stronger recommendations in this area. For our third and final objective, we created a market research report of product recommendations for Rosebird Farms. Our main strategy was to identify successful and sustainable products based on research. We aimed to include at least 2 products from each category, including flowers, fruits, vegetables, value-added or manufactured goods, and animal-based products. And now I'll pass it off to JD to explain our results.
Hi. Our deliverable results partially evolved during the process of our project. The initial idea of a comprehensive literature review later became a 17-page annotated bibliography, which covers 40 various academic papers, which is just 10 sources short of our KPI for Objective 1. Part of that shortcoming was because, as we discovered during our research, the scope of our research related to Arizona's local food system is really limited. The results of our second objective is shown in the infographic on the screen. Our team exceeded our KPI for this objective of 5 recommendations, and from our research, particularly case studies, we gave 8 distinct recommendations. During the later phases of the project, we pivoted our research outreach efforts since we weren't getting a lot of responses from individual outreach. So we created surveys, one for producers and distributors and another for consumer. The top 2 graphs show some of the current raw data from the producer and distributor surveys, and the bottom 2 graphs show some of the raw data from the consumer surveys. So far, we haven't gotten a ton of responses yet, but we're still accepting responses, and the feedback we've gotten so far has been really encouraging. For our third objective, we also surpassed our KPI in a pared down version of the products we found are shown. These recommendations were based on additional research and interviews we conducted. Our research will be applied to the work our project partner Darien is working on with Rosebird Farms, which is an ongoing project. On will explain next how our project relates to UN Sustainable Development Goals.
So Sustainable Development Goals were created by the United Nations to create a more sustainable world by 2030. Our project focuses on 3 goals, SDGs 2, 11, and 12. SDG 2 focus on zero hunger by ensuring sustainable food production systems and implementing resilient agricultural practices that increase productivity and production, help maintain ecosystems, strengthen capacity for adaptation to climate change, extreme weather, and other disasters, and progressively improve land and soil quality. SDG 11, Sustainable Cities and Communities, is brought in to support positive economic, social, and environmental links that implement urban and regional development plans, integrating population projections and resource needs. Lastly, the goal of SDG 12 is to have per capita global food waste at the retail and consumer levels and reduce food losses along production and supply chains.
There are lots of ways that you can support our community partner, and one way you can help us out is by filling out the consumer survey, which you should be able to find in the chat, so that we can collect as much data as possible for our community partner. And you can also check out their mini grocery store, farm stand, or visit them at the farmers market, and you can find more information about that on their website. And if you live within the region, please check out their CSA program. And finally, you can follow their Facebook, check out their website, and contact Andrea about any questions or just get in touch. And thank you so much for helping us support our project partner.
Working with Darien and Rosebird has been an amazing experience, and I can say with confidence that every member on this team walks away from the project knowing more about local food and its importance to Arizona's rural communities than they did before. We are so thankful for the opportunity to contribute to Rosebird's mission to develop and grow Arizona's rural food hubs. And at this time, we'll be happy to answer any questions.
Well done, team. That was a great presentation. What questions does everyone have? You can add them into the chat. And we even have Darren himself from Rosebird Farms. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, we have a question from Nathan. Has Rosewood Farms considered opening, or can you guys read the whole question? Does anyone want to answer?
I can take this question. So we didn't really focus on, I guess, different types of ways to grow food. We were thinking more on kind of like outreach and how to help increase access to local foods for members of Arizona's rural communities. But I'm sure that if you reached out to Rosebird Farms with the links that will be sent out to you later, and if you contact them, I'm sure that they can get back to you on that question.
All right, unless we have any other questions, we will be continuing. Oh, we have one from Mia. Do you find that there are any unique challenges for agricultural in Arizona?
I can take that question. When I was talking to some producers and distributors in Arizona, there's just like Arizona still hasn't really built up like a robust local food system. So like kind of connectivity is something that in terms of like the quote unquote industry, that's what they're overcoming, and just building those connections is kind of what's happening right now and is a challenge.
All right, that's all the time we have for the Q&A for this team. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask the team when we get to our networking time. Next up, we have the Solutioneer team for the Matuli Foundation, which to brag is our first international project for GreenLight, and we're super proud of what this team is able to do with the time differences and everything. So we're gonna, without further ado, introduce the Matuli Foundation team.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's really inspiring to see so many people here invested in sustainability, and we're really excited to share what we've worked on with Matuli so far. Before we begin, we would just like to introduce our team. My name is Erin Trontvine. I'm majoring in Business Global Politics with a minor in sustainability, and this is my third year at ASU.
I'm Riley Richardson, and I'm a sophomore studying sustainability.
I'm Nathan Scherder. I'm a sophomore and I'm studying sustainability.
My name's Katie. I'm also a sophomore and I'm studying mechanical engineering and global health.
Next, we'd like to introduce our project partner. This is Robert. He is the founder and executive director of Matuli Foundation. And when we were establishing our relationship, we asked Robert to define sustainability, and this was his response. An efficient use of planet resources so as to maintain energy, regain nature, and reinforce social economic transformation in a community. I think that this is really inspiring, and this is how we kicked off our project to develop goals that aligned with this. So before we dive in deeper, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about Matuli Foundation. So on the right, you can see a map, and this is kind of showing you where specifically Matuli is located in the Karanga district in Malawi, Africa. And I'd like to read Matuli's mission statement, which is to promote skills, capacity building, and socioeconomic transformation of the vulnerable rural society in Karanga Northwest through unanimous community participation and own all level projects circle management. So they will be able to complete this mission by implementing irrigation agriculture systems and youth skills development programs. And these programs reduce chronic poverty, increase the locals' right to sustainable development and their right to security, as well as enhance the quality of life for everyone.
So when we started the project, we kind of wanted to look at what Matuli was already doing. And so the current systems that they have in place are a raised bed irrigation system and a sub-irrigation system. And both of these are just used in order to conserve water and make sure it's being used efficiently. The sub-irrigation system in particular allows the soil to absorb the water it needs without a ton of human intervention. Another interesting thing about these planters is that they get the bottles from the community, so they're decreasing their waste as well as supporting others in the community. We were really excited to see that Matuli had systems like this in place and they were putting sustainability as a priority.
So the United Nations has compiled 17 goals for sustainable development by 2030. In line with our first objective, we went with tactic 2.4.1, and this is to help develop the production of agriculture under productive and sustainable agriculture. We wanted to think long term, but at first we had to set short-term goals to have those impacts to really get the ball rolling. So to develop this tactic, we were initially using the processes we saw previously, and over time, we hope that the Mtuli Foundation will continue to be ambitious and forward-thinking to help continue their drive towards sustainable agriculture and irrigation systems. By smartly putting more land to use, we can help push these goals, grow past the initial ideas we had, and it also involves developing designs, strategies, and using resources to get there. And for the Matuli Foundation, we found that these two goals were right in line with our mission. So for our second objective, we used tactic 17.17. And this is reaching out to potential partners, building those connections with them to help build up smallholder farmers in Malawi. This will give them data, insight, resources, and strategic analysis to further their long-term growth. And this will help them further build sustainable agriculture and agribusiness to promote food security and equality within the region.
Our vision for the project that was by the end of this project, we were going to help Matuli Foundation get an overview of the different sustainable practices they could be using for irrigation and agriculture, and then choose the ones that best fit their environment and their resources. And then we also wanted to aid them in building a larger resource network, including partnerships, businesses, and other just local organizations that could help them in their mission. So our mission as a team, in order to get to accomplish this vision, was to first present the Matuli Foundation with a bunch of research about different sustainable agriculture and irrigation solutions that they could consider, and then help narrow down to the ones that best fit them. And we also wanted to compile a list of different organizations that they could gain different support, whether it be funding or partnerships from, and then help them initiate outreach.
Yeah, so as we were outlining these goals, we created two different objectives and kind of split our team in half. So the first half of our team focused on creating a review of these agricultural and irrigation practices that we thought would be beneficial in Malawi. And we were aiming for about 5 of each of these strategies. And then the other half of our group focused on the second objective, which was to create a list of organizations as an outreach resource for Matuli. And our goal was to have a list of 50 organizations and to have contacted at least 30 of them.
So initially, we did have very ambitious goals for outreach. We wanted to reach out to these 50 organizations. Unfortunately, we only came up with 33. Though we felt very strongly about these 33 and how they might be able to impact and connect with the Mtuli Foundation. So we were okay with not achieving this goal. Now, of these diverse organizations, we were only able to reach out to 28 of them, just because some of these required more information and materials than we had on hand. Yet they all provided avenues in which we can further grow to develop this sustainable agriculture in Malawi. This is from holistic farming, vertical farming, landscape design, seed donations, and both short and long-term funding. We feel confident in these organizations, and some of which have already reached out, that they can all greatly contribute to the Mtuli Foundation and help build long-lasting partnerships.
For research, we first completed a literature review on the current agricultural methods used by the Matuli Foundation, and then we also researched the environment of Malawi, because a solution that's going to work here in Arizona isn't necessarily going to work on the other side of the world. Then we looked at different potential agricultural practices that Matuli could use. We focused specifically on irrigation, but we also looked at other possibilities such as food storage or rainwater harvesting. We created documents for these solutions, and an additional thing that while we missed just a couple little bit short of our KPI, we were able to find some other educational agricultural solutions that could be used with the local school children, or just anyone who wants to learn more about agriculture. And we feel very confident that we reached that goal of different solutions that could fit in their education and the agricultural systems that they have there.
So to complete this research portion of our project, we created 2 guides, one on the irrigation and agricultural solutions that we came up with, and then one on education. So the first one's filled with like proposals for new systems or possible improvements to current systems. we included different tips and infographics showing how they could increase their efficiency and sustainability within the community. The educational guide is more geared towards the youth in the community. And so it was filled with like various activities and other ways to get them excited about these topics.
If any of you are interested in furthering Matuli's goals, I'd like to let you know that their current fundraising campaign is active, and you can find it at this link or this QR code on the screen. They're currently raising money to purchase seeds for their demonstration farms in local schools. And that being said, I'd also like to share this personal message from Robert.
We as Mtuli Foundation would want to give the most needy families in Karunga Northwest to boost their food production through your donation. The funds that will be raised are going to be solely used for the implementation of the project. I know when you go on the website or you visit our fundraising page, you can have a lot of details that you might need. We thank you for choosing to support us, because it's the most precious donation to Mtuli Foundation, so that we are able to support the people who are facing acute hunger in the rural villages by giving them an opportunity to do their farming. So thank you very much. We really appreciate. We as Mtuli Foundation.
And thank you guys so much for listening. We're really excited to see where this goes in the future, and we were really happy to partner with Matule Foundation. If anybody has any questions, we'd be happy to answer them.
All right, it looks like we have one question from Jim. Would you like to answer or ask your question?
Yeah, as one of your agricultural partners, have you looked at a place called Ascending Harvest?
We haven't, but I will definitely be sure to look into that after this and see if I could send it to Robert. Robert, if you're listening, also, that could be something interesting. Is it an organization located in Malawi or?
No, it's an organization. It's actually out of Utah, and they have an amazing, in my opinion, technology. I actually have a prototype of it here in Arizona, and it's a cross hybrid hydroponic, and it does really well with very little water. And I would highly recommend that you talk to these guys, especially Shane McKenna, to see if there's some way that you can work something out with him, because it's a very, very good growing solution.
Thanks so much. If you have like a contact and you'd like to privately message me that I'd be really grateful.
All right, this is a really good question. Being an international project, what were some challenges that you might have faced as a result of being partnered with an international project partner?
I think one of the big challenges is what you'd expect with having a partner on the other side of the world, is not being able to visit and see what their current like agriculture systems were. As Riley talked about, it was really cool how they put sustainability first in a way that America oftentimes doesn't. But because we couldn't see their current solutions besides through pictures like emails and such, it was kind of harder to find improvements without that hands-on experience.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Matuli. We will now continue to our next presentation. Next up, we have the Solutioneers from Team 4 Energy. Take it away, guys.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kate Hartland, and I am the project lead for the 4 Energy team. I am in my first year of the Masters of Sustainability Solutions program and will graduate next May. And this is my second semester with GreenLight.
Hi, everyone. My name is Peyton Flint. I'm a senior at ASU studying business sustainability, and it is my first semester as a Solutioneer with GreenLight.
Hello, everyone. My name is Walker Norris. I'm a senior here at ASU. My major is in business sustainability, and I'll be graduating this coming month. And this is also my first semester with GreenLight.
Okay. So we were partnered with 4Energy, which is a solar panel installation company that prioritizes sustainability and helping Arizona residents maximize the energy efficiency of their home. Even though they started with just offering home energy audit and solar panel installation, they now also offer energy efficient window installation, home installation, and duct sealing. Their mission is to create a brighter future for the community and to provide sustainable solutions for generations. Our project partners are Avery Hayden and Spencer Purio, who is actually a Solutioneer at GreenLight himself for 3 years. So 4 reached out to us to help them reinvent their social media so it better represents them. They felt they were lacking on the content, consistent posting, and overall not reaching the audience they were wanting. We believe with an improved Instagram and Facebook feed, 4 will be able to get their name out there as a leading solar provider in Arizona and beyond.
So we came onto the project looking to create a robust and consistently engaged social media audience to elevate 4Energy's presence as a prominent solar company in Arizona and beyond. Our team set out to identify event opportunities to increase 4Energy's public outreach, to lead a photo shoot for content creation, and to create a social media calendar to increase 4's overall engagement and following on social media.
So our goal was to assist 4 with growing their presence on social media and in the community, which we were able to do by creating a list of local farmers markets and sustainability-minded companies that 4 can connect with. We also met up with the 4 team for an awesome photo shoot to create new content for their social media. We also created a social media content calendar where we provided what to post and when for this upcoming year. Here is a mock Instagram feed we put together with some of the photos from the photo shoot. This is an example of what the 4Energy feed should start to look like when these social media strategies are implemented.
So our first objective was to identify solar-related events and partnership or sponsorship opportunities for 4Energy to connect with. Our goals were to find 10 farmers markets or 5 businesses or organizations we felt 4Energy would find interesting, collect their contact information, and pass that information forward onto 4. Objective 2 was relatively straightforward. We wanted to lead a photo shoot detailing the solar panel installation process for social media content. Objective 3 was to create a social media calendar, complete with post templates and caption ideas to prepare for the next year online. Our measures for success were evident enough: a list of contact information with the aforementioned amount of contacts, a photo shoot, and a complete post calendar. So in general, we met all of our KPI goals. There are quite a few farmers markets that are still open, and almost all of them were complemented with easy methods for registering for Blue Space. Businesses and organizations were a little bit more difficult. As 4Energy wanted in-person meeting spaces, it was tricky to find in-person events in the midst of the COVID pandemic. That said, we still managed to find a few events, which we hope 4 will look into the future. Our photo shoot went perfectly well. We managed to get some great photos, which will be used in the short future for 4Energy's various social media. There were some moments when we struggled with identifying which social media tactics that 4Energy would connect with the most, as we were given a good deal of creative freedom. Overall, however, our content calendar has resulted in an easy to follow methodology for social media postings and themes that we hope 4Energy will continue to use for years to come.
The Sustainable Development Goals that our project helps to address are Goal 7, Affordable and Clean Energy, and Goal 11, Sustainable Cities and Communities. Specifically, Target 7.1, which works to ensure universal access to affordable, reliable, and modern energy services, and Target 7.2, which works to increase the share of renewable energy in the global energy mix. 4Energy is already working towards both of these SDGs as they provide solar window replacement and energy efficiency services to their clients. But by increasing FOR's audience and engagement on social media, we're helping to raise even more awareness of the company, their services, and renewable energy, and ultimately increase energy efficiency and renewable energy in the global energy mix. Our project also addresses target 11.6, which aims to reduce the adverse per capita environmental impact of cities. 4 is increasing the energy efficiency of homes and solar power use across the country, which aids in this larger goal. And again, our project works to increase brand recognition, awareness, and education through updated social media visuals and content so that more people can connect with 4 and get their homes running as efficiently as possible. So now that you have heard about our social media content calendar and the really fun photo shoot that we got to be a part of, we would love for you to pull out your phone and give 4Energy a follow. You can find them on Instagram at 4Energy, and you can like their page on Facebook as well. They haven't implemented the plan just yet, as we are still putting some finishing touches on it. But once they do, you will start to see some really beautiful photos of their crew and get some great educational information as well. So please do like and share when you see something that you enjoy. It will really help a lot. And if you are interested in getting in contact with any of us on the team, our emails are up here on the screen, and we are happy to connect with you on LinkedIn as well. We are so thankful for the opportunity to work with this project on 4. We got to noodle through what showcases 4 and their services and their amazing company culture in the best way possible on social media. We had a lot of fun at the photo shoot, and we also got to learn a lot about solar and energy efficiency in the process. 4 really is a company that wants to make a difference for people and the planet, and we are so grateful that we got to play a part in spreading awareness about what they do. And we are happy to answer any questions you may have about the project. Thank you.
Well done, team. We have a couple questions for you from Rahul. We got, so what strategies did 4Energy use to increase its social media presence, specifically increasing your follower count?
So most of what we focused on was changing up the content and making sure that they would be posting consistently and, really posting content that they felt represented them best. So we have not, our project was just to create the calendar and the content templates, and then 4 will be implementing these once we pass that on to them. So we haven't been tracking followers. That wasn't really part of our project. Maybe that will be something for next semester that another group can take on and sort of follow into the future.
Great answer. It looks like Kevin has raised his hand in the Zoom call. Would you like to?
Yes. Wow, those are some really awesome photos. I can't believe you guys were able to get that. My question is, what was one of your most favorite parts of this whole project? Obviously, excluding the photos, which are really amazing. And also, are you guys gonna make TikToks?
That's a great suggestion. We will actually have a recommendation section that we send on to 4. And so we very well may include video and TikTok in there. And the photo shoot was a lot of fun, and 4 actually did have a professional photographer there as well, but Walker got to photo assist, and he took some photos as well. So he could talk a little bit more about that. But I would say for me, I had background in social media already, and what I'm really wanting to do with my career and my life is utilize my communications background with my sustainability education. So being able to do that with 4 and GreenLight was really wonderful experience. Peyton or Walker, feel free to jump in with what was best for you.
We kind of already spoke for me. Honestly, the photo shoot was pretty fun, although we did have to get up pretty early to get some nice early morning lighting. But Beyond that, it was a good time. Also getting to meet the whole 4Energy crew was pretty great. They're all nice people, and learned quite a bit from them. And considering, you know, I'm always interested in solar and alternative forms of energy beyond coal and all that nasty stuff. So it was great to get to talk to them and learn more while I was there.
All right, the last question we will have for you is how does FOR's social media compare to other solar energy companies in AZ? Was that part of your process when you're deciding how you best implemented this strategy?
So we did research and compared a bunch of other types of energy companies and looked at their different social media platforms to get some ideas, but we've had a lot of fun really brainstorming our own ideas for 4Energy. And yeah, we gave you that little sneak peek of what we're hoping it's gonna look like, but we have some ideas going on where we're gonna implement like 4Energy Friday, where every Friday or every other Friday, there will be like a fun fact about 4Energy's like origin and what they're up to, and like Wellness Wednesdays, and you'll really get to see the company culture come to life and get to see, you know, what they got going on, because their company culture is really, it's really special. You know, they really are a family that care about the environment, and you'll really be able to see that in their social media. So it's been a lot of fun. Can't wait to see that come through.
We are all super excited to see exactly what the final project will end up. Thank you so much, Team 4Energy. We're gonna move on to our next Solutioneer team. All right, we have Shape Up Us, who will be presenting. Take it away.
Hello, my name is Rachel Antidormi, and I'm the project lead for Shape Up Us this semester. I'm studying sustainability at ASU, and this is my 4th semester in GreenLight.
Hi, my name is Iona Isaacson. I'm a junior at ASU studying conservation biology with minors in sustainability, energy, and GIS. This is my 3rd semester with GreenLight and my 2nd semester working with Shape Up Us.
Hi everyone, I'm Kaylee Schufelt. I'm a Master's of Sustainability Solutions student, and this is my 1st semester with GreenLight.
Hi everyone, I'm Josiah Schulke. I'm a sophomore majoring in sustainability, and this is my 1st semester at GreenLight. So our project partner was Shape Up Us, and we partnered with Shape Up Us to make this amazing workbook on gardening. And Shape Up Us is an organization that works to empower kids and their families through education and awareness. And Shape Up Us provides teachers, children, parents, and communities with educational tools. And their mission is to build a healthier future, and their vision is that all children will gain the knowledge and hands-on experience that will shape their lives to becoming healthier and happier, resilient adults. And Jill Steinbeck is the executive director of Shape Up Us. She's an amazing and extremely driven woman, and she's also the creator of the Hip Hop Healthy Heart program. She's a very driven woman who wants to help people live their best lives and be happy and healthy. And not only does she direct Shape Up Us and the Hip Hop Healthy Heart program, but she's also an author and has published over 15 lifestyle books using a holistic approach. And she's a great woman and has a very valuable skills and knowledge. And then for our project's why, so our project partner Jill reached out to us because she felt that there was a section in their curriculum that was missing. Shape Up Us already has a collection of workbooks, and we actually worked with Shape Up Us last semester and were able to create a workbook with Jill on sustainability in the home, which was really great, but she felt that a workbook on gardening would be a really helpful addition to educate families, because there are a lot more things children need to be educated on, especially when it comes to sustainability, because sustainability isn't taught in schools very much. And so with Shape Up Us's vision and goals and our work and passion, we wanted to take on this challenge.
The reason we chose to do a workbook focused on gardening is because we wanted to express the importance of kids connecting with nature. We thought gardening was a wonderful way for kids and families to learn about the environment while also finding a personal way to connect with nature and the food that they eat. So in order to meet our goals for this project, we created this 6-step plan, which involves research, content creation, and finding connections.
So our vision is for children and their families to read the Shape Up Us booklet on gardening and sustainability and implement these practices into their daily lives. So to create happy, sustainable lifestyles that benefit their home, their family, and the planet. Our mission was to create a workbook that focuses on the importance of gardening and creating a sustainable at-home food system.
given that our project's vision involves students and families using the booklet as learning material, the sustainability goal that we chose to pinpoint is goal number 4, quality education. The specific target we chose is 4.7, to ensure that all learners acquire the knowledge and skills needed to promote sustainable development through education for sustainable lifestyles and promotion of a culture of peace and nonviolence. We are meeting the sustainable lifestyles component by discussing sustainable gardening as an alternative to grocery shopping or other forms of obtaining food, for example, and we are working to create a culture of peace by including mindfulness, happiness, and gratitude tips throughout the workbook pages.
Okay, so what we actually did to implement our 6-step process, our objective 1, we discovered and researched the best possible approach to deliver the information to the targeted audience, which was kids K through 6 generally. And we each, our key performance indicator, we each researched around 3 sources, and that helped us to understand how to get the information out there. And then objective 2, we established 7 subjects for the workbook. And then we got them approved by our project partner. And then objective 3 was to create the first draft of the workbook, and that was 16 pages long, and we sent it over to Jill and she approved it. And then we finished the workbook in objective 4, 16 pages again. And then objective 5, which is still in the works right now, was to find partnerships to partner with Shape Up and all of the events going on, and to get the workbook out there. And our key performance indicator was to contact 8 partners.
This is the workbook. It's called Little Green Garden, and it is a guide to help kids better understand the importance of growing their own food at home. The book was just completed and finalized. These are the final pages, and there are 7 sections in the booklet, and each section has happiness tips, fun facts, and in-book and out-of-book activities. So here are a couple more of the pages. Throughout the booklet, we focus on detailing various aspects of gardening, such as why you should grow your own food, the importance of eating a variety of fruits and vegetables, what is needed to keep the plants alive, such as soil health, photosynthesis, and the water cycle, and then different types of gardens that kids can make depending on where they live, how to prep and grow plants for a healthy garden, and the difference between growing your own food and buying it from the grocery store. We wanted to provide a booklet that was fun, informative, and empowering for children. It was important to us that kids could read through this with their parent or guardian and start their own garden at home with these simple and easy steps.
Okay, and so for our potential partners, we said that we would contact 8 of them, and we are still in the works, but we have a huge list, and these are just some of the partners that we will be contacting. And if you do have any suggestions for possible partners, you can leave them in the chat for us. We would love to make connections through everyone in the audience as well.
We loved working with Shape Up Us for a 2nd semester, and we want everyone who's interested to get involved. So first, you can follow and connect with Shape Up Us via social media, and you can actually order your own copy of our workbook and share it with others who you think would be interested. It will be available on the Shape Up Us website shortly. And then Shape Up Us also has events all over the country coming up. So if you're interested, there are 2 right here in Arizona, 1 in Tucson and 1 in Phoenix in November. With opportunities to volunteer with them or table if you are a business that's interested in partnering with them. And lastly, if you have any ideas for a new Shape Up Us workbook, or you want to get involved in any other way, you can always contact our wonderful project partner, Jill. She is such a pleasure to work with.
Thank you everyone for listening to our presentation. I hope that you all enjoyed getting a sneak peek of our workbook, and those are our LinkedIn's if you want to connect with us, and we'll now open the floor for any questions.
Well done, team. That was a super informative presentation. So we have a question from Rahul. How did you guys create the graphic art for the book? Who was in charge of that? And could you give a little background on the book?
So we did a rough draft in Google Slides, so shout out to Google. We just used like PNGs that we found, and we just created it ourselves. And then we sent it over to Jill, which she sent over to her graphic designer. So their version is just a really prettier version of our version.
So how did this semester's workbook differ than last semester? So this is one of our continuing projects. So what was different that you worked on this year than last year?
Last semester, I can speak on this because I worked on both projects. Last semester, we focused on sustainability in the home. So different projects that you could do in each room of the house. And for this one, it was a bit of a challenge because it was all outdoors. So we had to find a way to make it still interesting and find a bunch of different activities that you could do outside. Any new challenges? I think just finding a way to make it informative, but also not too information heavy, and have the perfect balance of activities and things to do. And also we have a lot of bright colors and awesome graphics that helps with that too.
Yeah, Josh puts a great question in the chat of when will this workbook be coming out, and where could people get it?
So it should be pretty much almost finalized. The e-version will be, I assume that it will be out within the coming week because Jill just had the final, like, everything done. And so that will be linked on the website. And the hard copy, I'm assuming that it will probably take a few weeks to come in, but I'm not exactly sure.
Well, we are super proud and excited for what this team was able to accomplish this semester. If anyone has any other questions, you can ask during the networking hour. So we're going to move on to our next group. All right, now we have Team Dynamic, who will be explaining their project. Take it away.
All right, hello everybody. We are Team Dynamic. My name is Ashley Taylor. I was the project lead this semester, and I will be graduating this spring with a major in marketing and a minor in sustainability. And I will let the rest of my teammates introduce themselves.
Hi everyone, my name is Julia Allman. I'll be graduating next spring. My majors are business sustainability and supply chain management, and my minor is Chinese.
Hello everyone, my name is Prashab Sharagar, and I'm graduating in fall next year with a major in finance and economics.
Hi all, my name is Landon Harsh and I'm a junior. I'm currently pursuing my bachelor's in sustainability with a minor in biological sciences.
And Landon is going to get us started off tonight.
Thanks, Ashley. So this semester, our team partnered with Dynamic RE. Dynamic RE is a real estate investing firm that helps owners of properties identify and take advantage of their property's highest and best use through various investment strategies to maximize their investment and returns. Our contact point through the course of our project has been Maser Huck, who is one of the two founders of Dynamic. He founded Dynamic with Lamont Key after they discovered that their real estate visions aligned. As they traveled down their real estate path, they came to see that real estate was missing a key component, and that was sustainability. Dynamic RE sees sustainability as creating win-win-win situations with the global community and picture in mind, and this is where we came in. Recognizing that there's a lack of awareness of sustainability in real estate, and thus a lack of opportunity recognition, Maser and the Dynamic RE team challenged us to create a tool that connects resources, displays benefits, and exposes opportunities within sustainability for their clientele. Based on this challenge, our team decided to collect resources pertaining to a variety of sustainability topics for Dynamic RE to offer. So according to the US Census Bureau, there are 139 million plus residential homes. So imagine the impact that our project could have. We started by researching the most impactful areas of real estate and ended up covering landscaping, water consumption, waste management, energy efficiency, housing, and appliances and community engagement. Next slide, please. Thank you. Each of these initiatives and resources pertain to a variety of real estate investors, including homeowners, short-term rental operators, fixers and flippers, and long-term investors. We knew this information needed to be in an easily digestible format, so with the guidance of our project partner, we decided to create a website as our final deliverable. And here's Rashab to go over the SDGs that related to our project.
Thank you. So our team has found 3 SDGs that are related to the project. The first one is number 4, which is to ensuring that all the people can have the quality education that is needed to acquire the knowledge and skills that would needed to ensure they promote and contribute to the sustainable development. The secondly is number 9, which is for the industry innovation and infrastructure, and this is to ensuring that all the infrastructures and industries are upgraded to ensure that they are compliant to a lifelong sustainable development. And lastly is number 12, that is the responsible consumption and production, which to helps and to substantially reduce waste generation by preventing the excessive amount of waste, and to promote 3 R's, that is to reduce, reuse, and recycling the wastes. Our vision for the dynamic team was all the relevant resources are gathered and analyzed to ensure that clients get enough information about sustainable real estate investments, which these can be incorporated into a dynamic RE business portfolio for homeowners, fix and flippers, long-term investors, and short-term operators within the Phoenix metropolitan area and beyond. Our mission was to encouraging clients and helping them investing their properties in a very sustainable manner by providing information about financial, social, and environmental incentives within the Phoenix metropolitan and beyond. And here's Julia to tell you about the objectives.
All right, so the first objective in our project process was to research the impacts of real estate investing environmentally, economically, and socially. Our key performance indicator was to find 12 articles, which we met and were therefore able to better understand the scope of the industry. Next, we went through research cycles for objectives 2 through 5. For these objectives, we conducted research to find resources on the sustainability initiatives that Landon previously went over. Our KPI for these objectives was to find 12 resources per initiative, so 84 total, and we exceeded that KPI as we collected over 100 resources. Our next objective was to finalize the resources in Notion so that they could be transferred to a website format. Our KPI was to have 84 quality resources, and we ended up with 105 in the end. Our last objective was to assist in creating a website so that the resources we gathered can be easily accessible to clients. And now I'll show you what that final website looks like. So this is our final deliverable, the website we created with our project partner. We have a short introduction with some statistics that demonstrate the need for our project. And then here we go over the initiatives, and it has descriptions so that users of the website can better understand what resources will fall under the different categories. And now Ashley will show you the website in a little more detail.
All right, so this shows the actual page where all of our 105 resources are on. Users can use this page and go in there and filter based off of what initiative they're interested in, the resource type that they're looking for, what property or type of property owner they are, as well as their location. And Julia is going to show you the infographic we also created for this project on the next slide.
Yeah, so we created an infographic that demonstrates the importance of our project. So first, the infographic shows the impact of the real estate industry at large. So for example, 30% of CO2 emissions come from real estate. And then below that, the infographic frames the problem at the home level. For example, as much as 50% of water used outdoors is actually lost due to inefficient irrigation methods. And then below that, on the next slide, it shows the impact changes made at the home level could have. So for example, changing to a water efficient shower head can save enough water in a year for 88 loads of laundry. And then below that, since many clients are looking for investment in real estate, we also highlighted the 10% higher appraisal value that green homes receive compared to their traditional counterparts, and that demonstrates the financial potential of home sustainability. And then at the bottom, we bring attention to our project and have a link to the website.
All right, so how can you get involved with our project? Go to our awesome website that we just created and go check out the resources that are there. Like we said, there's over 100 of them on there. So no matter what type of property owner you are, you're bound to find something that you can use with your home. The whole point of this website and this resource is to help somebody add value to their property and subtract from its footprint. And we completely believe that that's exactly what this website can do. So please go take advantage of it. Check it out, go get some inspiration from it. There are 2 ways that you can actually help our project. The first, on our website, there's a little button on it that says add a resource. So if you know of any programs, initiatives, or companies that we haven't added in yet, please go in there and help this database grow for users. And then another one, there is a little link on our website where you can fill out a survey. This is an ongoing project with Dynamic RE. So they do have some questions that would definitely help them out if you are a property owner. If you have a few minutes to fill it out, they'd really appreciate it. You can find it on the website, but it basically just lets them know a little bit more about who you are and what your interests or concerns are pertaining to incorporating sustainability to your property. And then lastly, just from our team to all of you, thank you so much. First of all, to our project partners, thank you for coming to GreenLight at the start of this semester and allowing our project team help you guys incorporate sustainability into your business for the first time. I think that we were able to create something really great as far as this being the first time you guys are creating something with sustainability. I know we're all really excited to see it grow and help other people. Through all of our research, all of us have learned a lot about what you can do with a property to make it more sustainable. So I think we're all really excited to own our own home someday because we kind of know how to do it right and keep sustainability in mind. So thank you so much. Thank you to GreenLight for hosting another incredible semester and bringing in these projects and these project partners and just giving us students the opportunity to gain this experience and really make such a big impact. I know we all love it so much, so thank you for doing it. And then just lastly, to everybody here tonight, just wanted to say thank you for coming. You're good. You can switch to the next slide. I know we all just really appreciate the support. I hope you're enjoying these presentations and you're getting some inspiration from them. This is just our team. Feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn. If you have any questions, let us know. Our project partners are also here tonight. I know they'd be happy to answer any questions, but again, just thank you so much.
Excellent work, team. It was a great presentation. We have some questions in the chat for you guys to answer. We have, has Dynamic already used the tools yet? And if so, what has the client's response been, or the partner's response been?
So this website was just completed, so it is fresh. It has not been necessarily used where we could see like the impact of it yet, but that's definitely something that they will keep track of in the future, just to see how it does impact their clientele. But it's new. It's a new website.
So did any of you guys have any sort of background in real estate or any of those kind of related areas before you got started with this project? No? Tell us a little bit about how that experience was. Of the experience of learning more about real estate. How was that for you guys?
So I was actually kind of new to real estate because it was kind of new and I haven't learned it like since childhood. But what I learned is like getting the resources that were like sustainable impact. That is something that I have learned about it, and I would likely to make an impact on it.
All right. Did we have more questions for the team? All right. Well, thank you so much. We are going to continue moving along forward to our next project. Next up, we have our Solutioneer team for Utopia Smart City. Solutioneers, take it away.
Hello, everyone. We are Utopia Smart City's GreenLight Solutioneer team. We're so excited to be here tonight. My name is Gemini Boudry. I'm the project lead this semester. I'm currently a junior double majoring in economics and business sustainability.
My name is Josh Dahl. I'm a first-year sustainability student at MTC.
I'm Thorin Harvey. I'm a first year at ASU studying molecular biology and biotechnology.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mitchell Breedlove. I am a sophomore at ASU studying sustainability. This is my first semester with GreenLight.
And our last member, William O'Neill, unfortunately can't make it tonight. He'd love to be here with us, but we'll be continuing on with the rest of the team. With that, let's get started. Our project partner, Utopia Smart City, is the newest mixed-use occupant-owned, self-sustaining community that operates on blockchain, with over 300 buildings that incorporate smart home technology. The ground level hosts commercial storefronts with business owners living above, and they plan to break ground in Phoenix this year. We also have some of the board members with us here tonight, so shout out to them. Thank you so much for coming. Utopia's mission is to develop smart cities that provide affordable housing, sustainable agriculture, and alternative energy, resulting in reduced carbon footprint that runs through a decentralized, transparent, collaborative economy. They're involved in the sustainable development of their community. Utopia has even partnered with GreenLight Solutions on 2 other projects, which were completed last semester. Lastly, Utopia supports Sustainable Development Goals 7, 9, and 11. Affordable and clean energy, industry, innovation, and infrastructure, and sustainable cities and communities.
So the challenges Utopia was facing this semester was the need to engage their community with sustainable energy practices so their city may uphold the sustainable development standards. They needed to motivate people to live in the community and get involved in order to get it off the ground and running. Lastly, they wanted to form relationships between sustainable behaviors and corresponding incentives in their economic system, which runs on blockchain and incorporates NFTs. NFTs are non-fungible tokens, which is a form of a unique digital asset. These challenges led us to our vision and mission, and our vision was to advance Utopia's incentive program, and our mission was to complete an outreach and incentive program by May of 2021. Based on the challenges we faced, we established 3 objectives. Our first objective involved identifying key sustainable behaviors and incentives. Our KPI was to identify 5 of these, and we were able to surpass this goal. Our goal number 2 was to further develop one of these key behavior incentive pairs from objective 1 with visualizations. We wanted to incorporate 10 insight visualize. We successfully achieved this goal. Our objective 3 was to create an outreach infographic for Utopia Smart City. We successfully surpassed this last KPI of 5 topics and incorporated 6 in our outreach infographic.
For our first objective, we paired off desirable, sustainable behaviors with incentive programs. As Mitchell mentioned, our KPI for this one was 5 programs, and we're actually able to provide 6. Thorin created the Community Volunteering, Education, and Gardening Program, or VEG for short, a really fun program that incentivizes residents to participate in community gardens and generate NFT rewards for work in the garden. Gemini presented a Community Energy Efficiency Rewards Program, an innovative program for residents to automate their energy consumption. This program also highlighted Utopia's need for a passive function within the app. Mitchell's Water Use Efficiency Program installed water meters into Utopian homes, detailing water efficiency for multiple purposes, including NFT incentivization. Mitchell also developed a Utopia vendor shopping program that created NFT rewards for non-Utopian shoppers. Williams Vehicle Incentive Program, or VIP for short, incentivized residents to travel more sustainably through ride sharing or walking and biking. Utopia ultimately decided on our Utopia Sustainable Business Board program, which resulted from research in the Journal of Production. This program incentivizes a sustainable and regenerative economy through regulation and support from a board that involves all stakeholders in the ecosystem. Utopia Sustainable Business Certifications and Behaviors, which can be turned into unique NFT or crypto rewards, will become the focus of the remainder of our time.
For our second deliverable, we further developed and designed the program and created some app logic for them. So this is a chart that we put together to identify the different relationships present in the Sustainable Business Practices program. The blue lines signify increases, while red ones signify decreases in the corresponding behavior. And although these types of charts can get messy pretty quickly, having a full view of everything at a high level helped us identify feedback loops and other important insights for Utopia. We'll have a few examples for you here tonight, but we completed 10 of these insights total for Utopia.
Thank you, Gemini. So the first insight that we identified was a success to successful system trap. This typically happens when a business is certified early in the process, which allows them to earn a lot more NFTs than a business that becomes certified later on. So we created a ranking system on the right-hand side with badges that control the NFTs earned by the business's sustainable behaviors. The bronze badge would produce the most amount of NFTs per behavior, which would motivate beginning businesses to start their sustainability journey, while the gold badge would yield the lowest amount of NFTs per behavior, thereby preventing them from earning too many NFTs because they're more seasoned. This badge system would also encourage businesses to strive for achievement rather than for the NFTs themselves. Another insight our group found was the escalation system trap. So here in the left cycle, the problem occurs when businesses cannot achieve the standards required by the certification process due to finances or the difficulty of certifying in the first place. This is solved by having the sustainability board review feedback given by the inquiring businesses along with businesses that are already involved. In the right cycle, their problem is usability issues. With technology comes a learning curve that may drive potential customers and businesses away. So with this, the application that Utopia Smart City uses has to be as easy to use as possible by creating tutorials and helpful tips to increase the usability.
Another insight we researched was rule beating, in which an unjust economy is created through problematic business behaviors or the gaming of the system. In this insight, we illustrate how regulation can improve and maintain a regenerative ecoeconomy. Through managing an online knowledge center, classes, demonstrations, or just in data accumulation, USB will be able to drive innovation and adapt to new sustainability goals while pushing a utopian golden standard to anyone involved in the economy. As businesses adapt to meeting these standards, the USB can support with risk avoidance, financial issues, and policy concerns. Finally, as businesses begin to attain the golden standard and acquire NFTs in return, the threat of its stagnated innovation and unregulated gaming of the system emerges. The USB works to regenerate the process again through continued education and new goals. Objective 3 was completed with the development of a general systems diagram for the functions of the app within Utopia. Working with Utopia interns, we developed 2 system diagrams. In this example, we highlight the responsibility of the USBB to develop and manage a paid or open source knowledge center that highlights the efforts of the Utopia Smart City. With the support of Utopia businesses, the Knowledge Center will serve to advertise the Utopia Golden Standard of sustainability while directing interested participants toward businesses.
After finding those 10 insights, our final objective was to provide outreach infographics for Utopia Smart City. So here are a couple of examples of the infographics that we created, one for the VEG program and one for the Community Energy Engagement program. We created 6 of these infographics illustrating the programs we designed for Objective 1. We broke them down into digestible information to better educate those who had no idea what NFTs are and how gamification can also serve as a great incentive for a community like Utopia Smart City. These could also be potential programs that are part of Utopia's arsenal of projects that they can use in their community.
All right, last, if you want to support Utopia, you can check out their website to learn more about the community and help get the word there. Utopia is always looking for more connections and partners in sustainability. That concludes our presentation for you all this evening. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight and supporting our project and Utopia Smart City as well. We'd love to connect with you, so please feel free to message any of us on LinkedIn. We'll be happy to chat or answer any questions you may have, and questions now as well.
Well done, team. What a way to wrap up the end of our presentations. We're just going to conclude with some questions. Joshua wants to know, is there an estimated time that we're going to have the completion of the Smart City?
So that, I would say, is outside the scope of our so far. They're starting to break ground with the construction this year. So it kind of depends on how long that construction takes, but hopefully as soon as possible. Very exciting project.
While we wait for some more questions to come in the chat, I have a question. How familiar was the team with this concept of smart cities, or was it a new thing? Did you have to do a lot of learning? And what was that process like?
So, and all of our other team members can speak on this, but I will definitely say that it's definitely a new kind of concept for me, at least. I had heard about sustainable cities before in some of my sustainability classes, but that was really only just a year or two ago. It's semi-familiar, but I would say definitely the very new aspects of this project, we're learning a lot of the technical aspects with those systems dynamics models and systems diagrams, which they took a lot of effort and work learning how to figure out how those work, but they ended up being really useful, and I feel like we really learned a lot.
Awesome. Kevin wants to know, how do NFTs fit into the system and what's their value?
All right, NFTs, another thing that was very new to us. So I will do my best here to explain. As Mitchell mentioned, they're a sort of digital asset. There's sort of, if you've heard of cryptocurrencies before, those are like crypto tokens, which is sort of like digital money. The NFTs are kind of a higher, I guess, layer to that. A lot of people use them as sort of collectibles, but Utopia is in the process of trying to incorporate them more as a solid asset. A lot of their value comes from scarcity, but again, Utopia is really trying to incorporate real concrete, tangible value to them as well. And if any of my other teammates would like to weigh in on that, please go ahead.
Yeah, so NFTs have been generally on the rise through social media and whatnot, especially perpetuated by big people like Elon Musk and all that. NFTs are non-fungible tokens, which is a digital asset. But in terms of Utopia Smart City, what they're hoping to do is visualize the NFT and create it through altered reality, either through augmented reality or virtual reality, where if you have these NFTs that are earned through sustainable behaviors, that is recorded on the blockchain. And then you can also visualize that NFT either through decorating your house, either virtually or physically, depending on augmented or virtual reality. So that's basically how the NFTs would influence Utopia Smart Cities community.
Excellent explanation. So with that, we have concluded all of our Solutioneer presentations, Thank you guys so much for joining us for that. And we're going to have some concluding slides from the leadership team.
If you're looking for more ways to get involved in GreenLight, please consider becoming a GreenLight Glow member. Donations are tax deductible, and one of your perks is a free ticket to this event twice a year. We have a QR code on our screen, and if you use the camera on your phone to scan it, it'll take you to our donation link where you can choose to be a monthly member or a one-time donor. Every dollar goes directly to our mission, and any amount helps. We will also be sending a link to this in the chat. Another way to get involved is Amazon Smile. At no extra cost to you, 0.5% of your purchases will be donated to GreenLight at smile.amazon.com. All you have to do is shop Amazon and make sure you always shop at smile.amazon.com or else GreenLight will not receive your donation. A link to in the chat will be provided as well. And then another way to get involved is join UCapture. This is a great browser extension that unlocks discounts at 25,000 stores, and a percentage of your purchases go to carbon offset projects from around the world. And this is completely free to you. There'll be a link in the chat to this one as well. And then finally, spread the word to get involved in GreenLight to students, board members, finance committee members, project partners, and Solutioneer mentors. Thank you all so much for celebrating our Solutioneer accomplishments with us. Have a great night, and your breakout rooms will start after a quick group photo and words about our raffle.
So this concludes the GreenLight Showcase of Spring 2021. Thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to be here. It really means a lot to us at GreenLight Solutions. We've been doing this for about 9 years, and each semester is a unique and amazing experience. We have worked so hard to promote our core values of professional development, sustainability stewardship, and collaborative community leadership. And we could not have done it without everyone here. So Solutioneers, thank you for your hard work and dedication to your team projects this semester. I know it's been difficult at times, but all of you have prevailed and excelled in your projects. We're incredibly grateful to have you guys be a part of GreenLight Solutions. To our project partners, thank you so much for your support and belief in our Solutioneers and GreenLight itself. It's great working with you all during the semester. To our board members, we are incredibly grateful to have your support and commitment to GreenLight Solutions. Without your hard work, dedication, and love for GreenLight Solutions, we would not be where we are at today. And lastly, to everyone else here today, whether you're family, friends, co-workers, thank you all for attending today. Hope you all have a great time here, and we hope to see you again.
All right, so that concludes our formal agenda for the night, but we still have time for networking. So if you choose to stay, you'll be randomly assigned to breakout rooms every 5 minutes to network and exchange contact information with the people in your room. Thank you for coming to our showcase tonight, and be sure to keep an eye out for our follow-up after the event, where we will also be announcing our raffle winner.